welcome everybody. It's certainly nice to have so many people here, and finally we get to talk about something and share with you what our hopes and dreams are for the upcoming marching band season. Okay, so like we said before, my name is Peggy Babcock. I'm the band director here, and I'm going to go ahead and just jump in with what we have planned for the season and how to get involved. You're going to meet a lot of people tonight. We're going to hope that you walk away with an idea of what is going to be happening, how to get a hold of people, and all of that good stuff. So I'd like to, go ahead and move on to the next slide. All right. So in addition to myself, these are some of the people that you will get to know very well throughout the course of the season. The assistant marching band director is Joe Kersey. He is also the director of percussion, and he's going to talk to you in just a minute. You've already informally at least met Lisa Hayes. She is our band and orchestra booster president. You are going to meet Jennifer Smith. She is one of the marching band coordinators for the Music Boosters. Our other marching band coordinator for the Music Boosters is Diane Zalapi, and you will meet her as well. And then our color guard parent coordinator is Anne-Marie Bragdon. And these are your people who kind of are the behind the scenes, make everything work people. In addition, I did want to introduce you to John Kennedy. He is our orchestra director, and we are using his Zoom account for this meeting. So when you saw John Kennedy's name pop up on the meeting room, that's who that is. So, and he is also here tonight. Okay, we can jump ahead. Okay, so I would like to introduce you to some of the student leadership in the marching band. Some of them are here tonight. Some of them we have not finished selecting yet. Okay, so, but I would like you to meet, and I'm going to have each of them talk a little bit. First is Sydney Jenkins, and she is here tonight. She is our director. I'm going to have her talk a little bit.
Hi, everybody. My name's Sydney. I'll be the drum major for the 2020 season. I'm really excited for this season. I know it's going to be really different, but hopefully it's going to be very exciting and very fulfilling. Yeah, Mrs. Babcock, did you want me to talk about, some of the reasons why marching band is so great?
Yes, absolutely. That's what we'd like to hear.
Perfect. All right, perfect. I'm sure you wouldn't want to hear anything else. But anyway, so one of the reasons why I joined marching band freshman year was because I had already been in band and I really loved music. I still love music to this day. It's a huge part of my life. In school, I'm in the symphony band and I play alto sax. And I think one of the things marching band has helped me a lot with is a structure. When you join marching band and you're first coming into high school, I joined my freshman year, and it's very hectic. It's very stressful coming into a new school, a new high school. You don't know, how much homework you're going to be getting. You don't know how your teachers are going to be. And marching band kind of facilitates a schedule for you, and you're surrounded by seniors and you're surrounded by good people. So it's one of the best things that I could have done in my high school career, and it's made high school what it is. You always hear people saying, oh, high schools are the best years of your life, and you really need to integrate yourself into that experience for you to experience that yourself, to enjoy high school and to remember it fondly. You really have to integrate yourself into that, and I think marching band is one of the best ways you can do that.
Cool. Okay, great, thanks. And then I think we also have here tonight Kate Zalapi. She is our field sergeant, and I think she was going to say a couple of things as well.
Hello. So yeah, I mean, Sydney pretty much covered it. Marching band for me has always been this kind of like home base kind of, like I came in as a freshman and you're meeting all these people for the first time, and you're going into this completely new experience from middle school, and having that base of marching band as kind of like that's your first introduction to high school really helped me out because of course we start practicing before school even begins. So you go to school on your first day and you already know people. Like you already have friends that you can wave to in the hallway or see in class. And it's just a really fun experience. And I think that I've been so lucky to experience it in the way I have.
Thank you, Kate. So you've met me already, and I can tell you a little bit about myself, although I think almost everybody here knows, but this will be my second year teaching at North Farmington, but a lot of you, including a lot of incoming freshmen, have had me at Warner. So, you know, you just see me in a new way. But I've been teaching high school in this district for a long, long time because I came over to North from Harrison. So, yeah, we won't even talk about how long, but I've been doing this for a long time. But probably of more interest at the moment, I would like to introduce you to two other people who are integral in making this go and who are, you know, going to help get our marching band off the ground. The first I mentioned before, our assistant band director and percussion director, Joe Kersey. Now, he's basically in charge of everything percussion. And so I was going to let him talk a little bit about that, because percussion sort of plays a different role in marching band than it does in a concert program.
Hi, everybody. Just want to, first of all, welcome you to another year with the North Marching Band. One of the things that I really want to stress to all of you, regardless of what section you're trying out for, whatever your goals are for this season, is that you've made it. This is not something anybody gets cut out of. By all means, if you want to come and participate in the North Marching Band, you're in, okay? The biggest thing is not everybody gets to play their first choice of instrument, all right? So really the time that we've lost goes into that time that we would take to learn how to play and make those decisions. So it'll be kind of a much quicker process this year, and making decisions about who's playing what and what's doing, but there is a spot for everybody, regardless of what your experience is, regardless of what your talent level is right now. If you want to be in the North Marching Band, absolutely you're in, okay? As soon as we know when rehearsals will start up, both the drumline and the guards start up in before the band does, hopefully that one. And we will set a schedule up and we'll make sure that the word gets out to everybody. Okay, welcome.
Right. Super. And then the next person I would like you to meet and is new to a lot of us. This is Mark Estradi. He is going to be our color guard director, and he is new to the program, new again to the program this year. He's actually worked with the North Marching Band before, but I'll let him introduce himself and tell you a little bit about color guard.
Hi everyone, my name is Mark Estradi. I am the color guard director at North Farmington High School, and I'm excited to work with you guys. I am a former student of Mrs. Babcock's. I graduated from Harrison High School just a few years ago, and where I was really involved in marching band and color guard there. So I've been performing and teaching for a little bit, and I'm excited to bring my experience to the North Band. Color guard is the best way I can describe it is a visual, I guess the textbook definition would be like a visual representation of the music. And we are in charge of bringing color and artistry, and again, a visual representation to what you're hearing and then what you're seeing in terms of the drill. Color guard is actually for everyone, and anyone with varying level. I joined color guard actually not until my senior year of high school actually, and I was a clarinet player. And so, you know, you don't have to have dance experience to be in color guard. You don't have to be a gymnast. Those things are helpful, but you just simply have to have a curiosity and a love of performance. And that's something that we're really gonna focus on this year, is performing to the best of our ability, having a great time, and really showing the audience kind of another way to think about the music and what they're hearing. So that's our job. It's an important one, and I'm really excited to bring this new level of performance to the North Color Guard. So I'm really excited to work with you guys.
All right, thanks, Mark. So we have, basically, there are 3 large sections, if you want to think about it this way, to a marching band. And I'm now speaking a lot to the people who are new to this. You've heard about the color guard. You've heard about the percussion, which is drum line, and then there's pit percussion that stand in the front. And those are more the keyboard instruments. But then the third main section, you sometimes hear referred to as the horn line. And of course, those are the woodwind and brass instruments that you play, and those people are playing and moving around the field at the same time. So those are your 3 main sections. Now, the vast majority of people who who join a marching band are going to play the instrument they play in class in band. The exceptions to that being none of us do color guard during the day. That's not an option. So that's really open to anybody. And then there are some instruments that you can play during the day that don't translate very well to outside, specifically double reeds. Don't work very well outside. And so most people, there are a lot of options if you are a double reed player for what you can do in the marching band. You have choices. Some people go back to the instrument they started on before they played a double reed. Some people join one of the other units, so and pick up a secondary instrument. It could be a drum, it could be color guard, it could be another woodwind or brass instrument. So like we said, there are places for everybody. There are places for people who play strings also. If you are in orchestra during the day, there is a place for you if you want to do marching band. You won't be playing your string instrument. That's generally not advised, but there are lots of other options for you. And we have orchestra members in the marching band. So there are lots of options. If you want to do this, we'll find something for you to do. Okay, it's an activity that everybody can be a part of. Okay, I think we can go back to the slideshow and continue.
Okay.
Now that you've met a few of us, there will be more students who are going to be put in leadership positions. We'll have section leaders. They have not been selected yet, so that remains to be seen who they are. But as soon as they are selected, you will meet the student section leader for each section. Okay. Now, yep, sorry. I know. Okay, so the concept for our show this year, it doesn't have a title yet, but we are going to be playing the music of Led Zeppelin. And for some of you who may have heard some of our earlier ideas, we kind of went a different direction than what we were thinking initially. But this should be a lot of fun. There's going to be music that will be recognizable. It's high energy. I think we're going to have a good time with this. So I can't tell you which Led Zeppelin tunes yet are going to be in the show for sure. We're having the music. The music is going to be written for us or arranged for us by J.R. Trimpe. And so he has a lot of leeway for what he's going to do. He's working on the music right now. He also writes our drill. Some of this is still a work in progress, but I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this. So Led Zeppelin. Okay, we can advance. Joe Kersey mentioned a couple of minutes ago, we usually get a lot of the very beginning parts of this done in the spring with we are now in the summer. That long more isn't too good. If it's too loud, just tell me. So our summer schedule is what you are seeing here. I mean, right now everything has to be tentative until we're told what we are allowed to do. But this is what we would typically do, and we are going to come as close to this as we are allowed to do by the school district. Once they start letting us meet again, the color guard and the drum line have basically weekly skills rehearsals in the summer, because there's a little bit more to do for them in a marching band situation. And with color guard, of course, if you're brand new to it, you have to learn, what to do in color guard. And you see in the picture here, for people who are brand new, the color guard are the people holding the flags. So they will start with skills rehearsals in July. Okay. And then, and what that's going to look like, we'll be able to tell you better once we know what we're allowed to do. But the marching band in total gets going really in August. Okay. And so here's what we have. We have a week of pre-camp, which is scheduled to be the first week of August. Pre-camp is where you get your uniforms fitted, and it's where you start working on some basics in music and basics in marching. And that's going to happen. The first day of pre-camp is just color guard, drum line, and then the student leadership from the horn line. Okay. And then Wednesday and Thursday involves everybody. Okay. So in those 3 days, basically we'll get everyone all set up to do everything, to have all the materials they need. A few of the basic skills they need to be able to successfully complete the band camp, which comes up the following week. Okay, so that's what this pre-camp and uniform fitting is. It's also the place where you'll get fitted for your marching band uniform for the season. And some years, this is where we get our picture taken. That hasn't been set up yet. And it could happen during the pre-camp, or it might happen during band camp. It'll definitely happen after we all have our uniforms.
We're tentatively planning the Friday of band camp.
Okay, thank you. Excuse me. You see right there on the bottom of the screen, I put the in-person graduation. That's just there so that people know that the school district is planning an in-person graduation for the 2020 seniors on August 9th. And I put this on the marching band schedule for a couple of reasons. Initially, that was going to be the first day of band camp. And because they're doing their graduation ceremony, it will not be the first day of band camp anymore. We will start a day later. There's also, nobody has said anything to me yet, but there is a decent chance that they may want some of us to play at graduation. And so I would take those people from the marching band, because we'll be the group that's around at that time. So that's why the graduation ceremony is listed there this year. Okay, you can go on to the next one.
Okay.
I think the next slide talks about band camp. Yes. Now, the big change for band camp this year, as most of us are aware, is that it is going to be at North rather than at an away camp. And that's just because of the situation we're in with the pandemic. We can't go somewhere else. We have to do it at home. But the schedule that you see listed out here is trying to stay as close to what we would normally do at an away camp as we possibly can, including the evening activities and all of that, because camp is about learning the show, but camp is also about building the team. And so it's really, really important. Band camp is the 1 week of the summer that we say everybody is required to attend. It is mandatory. Don't go do something else that week. Okay, so the other weeks, this summer is probably not the best vacation summer. But the other weeks, if your family is away on vacation, you communicate with us, and that's fine. But band camp, we need everybody there, because we really learn most of the show during this week. And you learn, this week we'll be learning, or this year we'll be learning a lot of the basics here as well. So you can see the schedule broken down here for what we do. And like I said, really the biggest difference is that it's going to be at North Farmington, and you sleep in your own bed at night. Okay, you get to go home. at the end of the day and then come back the next morning. I don't need to read through the schedule right now, but this is essentially the way it would have broken out at camp as well. So it's a full day. We're doing a morning rehearsal. We're eating lunch. We're doing an afternoon sectional. We're providing dinner, and then we have an evening rehearsal followed by an activity. And then on Saturday, the last Saturday, we'll have a performance in the stadium. And that performance right now, you know, the plan is to have the performance at 11. You know, students arriving at 9, performance at 11, and a picnic lunch afterwards. The picnic lunch is because we never got our Memorial Day picnic this year. So we thought we'll just move it to the end of band camp and do it there instead. So this is what we are hoping we'll be able to do for band camp. Like I said, assuming that we are allowed to operate, you know, under these parameters. And of course, like everything else this summer, as we learn more, we will stay in communication with everyone. Okay, we can advance. So this goes a little bit into what we do after band camp. There are 3, we don't know exactly when school is starting yet. So when I put up the rehearsals for the rest of August and the first week of September, it might adjust by a week once the school calendar has been published. But it's basically, it's Tuesdays and Thursdays in the evening we'll rehearse, and we have to do that this year. It's really important because if the football schedule stays with what has been published, then it is a very front-loaded season. There's a lot of home football games in September, and so we need to be as close to ready as we possibly can be by September, because that's when the bulk of our Friday night football performances will be. So, and the fall rehearsal schedule underneath there, it's this, for those of you returning, it's very similar to last year. I'm ending a half an hour earlier just because it got so dark, but you're also going to notice that we've added in a sectional time for each unit. Okay, drumline and pit actually has 2, but the horn line is going to have an after school rehearsal, and that kind of makes up for the half hour shorter on the evening rehearsals. And then color guard is going to have their sectional leading into the Thursday rehearsal. Okay. All right, we can move on to the next one. And like I said, now this is the football schedule as was published and still is published on the website. It's but this was all dates that were set before we went virtual. So assuming that that stays the same, you see they're all very early, September 4th, September 11th, September 25th. And then this one on October 23rd is, you know, a month. There's a month in between the 3rd and the 4th game. And that 4th game is one that, you know, is out of, you know, not in our area. It's Traverse City Central is going to come down and play. So that's, you know, that's could be a really interesting one, but it's not within our region. Also, I put in there, in the last couple of years, we've gone to the MSBOA Marching Band Festival, and assuming that that happens again this year, and there is some question about that, but if it happens, it is going to be the week of October 12th, and we will try to go. Okay, and you can advance to the next slide. This just goes, yep, I see it now. This just goes to the basic, you know, what a Friday night performance schedule for us looks like. It's we arrive a little bit before 5 so that we are beginning a tailgate, you know, dinner at 5. Basically from there on, you have something going on all the way up to when the game begins at 7. We actually perform a pre-game, and I know that the incoming 8th graders, you were there for the final football game. You were there with us last year. But we do a pregame performance at each game, and then we do a halftime show at each game, and that's where we do our field show. Plus, we are also pep band in the stands during the first 2 quarters, and then also the fourth quarter. The third quarter, we have refreshments. Okay, so that's, but it's fun. The football Fridays are just a really great time. They're a great time for parents as well as for kids. So it's a great, okay. And on next. I think this is where.
Can you all hear me? I'm Lisa Hayes. I'm the Boosters president. And I wanted to let everybody know and remind everybody who's currently in the band, parents especially, that we have a website. It's NFHS for those who are coming from another school. NFHS is North Farmington High School, music.org. Okay. This year we've set our base fee for the season because we're not going away to band camp. We can do it a little bit more economically. So the base fee is $300. If you're in percussion, we have an extra charge just for sticks and mallets and that kind of equipment. I'm not certain about the extra $50 charge for color guard. Depends on what we'll need in the way of flags and uniforms. Seniors typically have a special day and a special evening activity, and we charge $50 for that. And then everybody needs their own marching shoes or color guard shoes. They range between $25 and $35. So there's typically an additional fee for that. And it, for those returning members, of course, if your shoes still fit and they're in good condition, you're welcome to use them. And we do have a small selection of gently used shoes that have been donated by previous band members that can be used as well. And if you're interested in that, the fee for that is like $5, and we'll set you up a uniform fitting. Now I'm going to switch over to the website. This is the website you will get to if you go to www.nfhsmusic.org. And it is the Band and Orchestra Boosters website. Over on the left-hand side is a menu, and you can go to the marching band information page. And parents, this is where you can go to get all sorts of information about marching band. Here's our meeting notice. There's information on how to get in touch with us and how we can get in touch with you. We've got our schedule here, and there's more details in a link here. Of course, marching band requires forms. We have the forms that need to be filled out, all available to you electronically. This black link here is what you can click to get to where you can pay the marching band fees. We'll give you options to mail in a check. You get a little bit of a discount that way, or you can make the full payment by June 19th, or you can choose to make it in 2 payments or in 4 payments that are roughly a month apart. These are the additional fees: the senior fee, the percussion fee, the shoes if you need those. Every member of the marching band will get a t-shirt for this year's show. If there are any parents who want their own t-shirts, you can order them here. And also, because we realize that the people's circumstances have changed drastically because of the pandemic, we really want everybody, every student who wants to be in marching band, to be able to be in marching band. So if you happen to be one of the lucky folks who still kept your job and everything's going along hunky-dory in your financial situation, we'd like to ask you to consider making a donation to marching band that we can then use to help some student who might have financial need and still be able to join us in marching band. For the students later, you'll be able to use this link here to get to music for marching band. Okay. Jen, again, in order to complete writing the show from the composer's standpoint, he needs to know how many trumpets and how many trombones and how many pit percussionists he has, that sort of thing to work with. So we really need a commitment from folks by about June 19th. Are you in? What do you play? Or what do you think you'll play? Talk it over with Peggy or Joe if you need to. First payment by the 19th. We'd also like forms by then if possible. Okay. Diane.
So now for the fun part. You know, everybody's heard it takes a village, and I would say in marching band, it takes more like an army. We need many, many hands, but there are also many opportunities to participate and help. Lisa, I have been involved in marching band for, I think this is maybe year 7, but in the overall band and orchestra program for a good about 9 years, because I had 2 kids with a year in between, and my daughter's a senior, and it has been a marvelous and exciting time for all of us. And so what we really want to emphasize is that we do need every family to participate in volunteer activities. And not everybody can do the same thing, and not everyone can do the same thing for each activity, but we need the parent support and the family support, because often our former band students, older siblings, will still come back and participate as volunteers because they have fond memories, and it was a good time for them, and they want to make it a good time for others as well. So we do need the family support in order to make marching band successful. And it starts at the beginning, from the car washes to pre-camp to camp, all the way through the season. And again, there are many opportunities, whether that is helping with a car wash, whether that's being a band camp chaperone. Yes, we still need band camp chaperones, although you do get to sleep in your own bed, and that's an exciting thing. But we'll need lots of helper during band camp as well. Need traffic control, sorry about that. Traffic control during the games. We will need donations of food and help with uniforms. You know, there's sort of an endless list, because it also includes, we include tag days and MSBOA, etc. What I want to really kind of just point out to you is that if you're an 8th grade parent or 8th graders and you're moving into high school, think about how this is the time where your kids start to become more independent, and they're moving away from you, and you don't have those opportunities that you had in elementary and middle school to participate in classroom activities or as many activities in the school. And being a volunteer, or being a member of the boosters, but definitely being a volunteer for band, just really gives you that opportunity to still stay connected, to be a part of it, and to have fun and provide the support and the foundation that they need in order to make this work. So, you know, we're asking for help, but we also know that you'll get a lot of benefit from it, and it is truly fun. And what I would really encourage you to think about is that you can do something for almost every volunteer opportunity. If that means that you can, you know, you can't get out of work and be there for the tailgate for a game, but you can donate a dish and send it in with, you know, your kid, you can do that. Or you can't be there, but you can be there for traffic. Or you can help, you know, donate supplies for, you know, one of the, you know, fundraisers, or just be there for a few hours during marching band camp. We need everybody's hands to make this successful. So we will be putting all of those opportunities out there through Sign Up Genius once we have everyone's email and we'll be able to get all of that information directly to you. We just haven't built all of those yet because we are still in this tentative space. We don't, we have our first car wash is potentially June 20th, but again, we won't really know that until we get closer to, those times to see if we can really make those things happen. But please be a part of the band family. We do need you all. And I am done.
All right, this is me. Hi, I'm Jennifer Smith. I have, I've been involved with the marching band since 2015. My oldest son, my oldest son, Connell, graduated in 2019, and he was in marching band since the 8th grade. And then I have Cormac, who's a senior this year, and he's in the sax section. And my son, Ian, is a 9th grader, but he did marching band last year. It's been a great experience for them. They've made lifelong friends, I think, and it's been very positive for me too. I just want to tell you guys a little bit about ways that we can stay in touch and so that we can keep you up to date on all of the information having to do with marching band. The first way is through Remind. You guys probably are familiar with this already. I found it very helpful. So if you want, you can even put your phone up to the QR code on the screen and scan it. On Remind, or you can text the code on the screen to 81010 to sign up. And I'll be in charge of those texts, and I promise I will not bombard you with a crazy amount of texts. I'll just keep you up to date on what's going on. Another way to keep in touch is by email. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, or even if after we do the question answer session after this meeting is done, this part of the meeting's done, and you remember that you wanted to mention something or you've got to ask something, just send us an email. Diane and I get emails at the marching band at NFHSmusic.org. And if you have questions about the color guard, Anne-Marie Bragdon will get those emails up on the screen there. Color guard at NFHS.music.org. Also, Lisa showed you guys a bit about the boosters website, but that is where, Lisa, could you click on the, all right. So here we are. There is a, oh, there we go. There's a marching band listserv that you can sign up for at that link where the hand is pointing. Oh, and my email is right there. And as Lisa said, there's a tentative calendar. And could you scroll down, please? Thank you. And then if you click on the here, yep, there's a more detailed calendar in Word. And then also we'll have frequently asked questions pretty soon. You can go through the forms, marching band fees and payments. And if you guys wanted to look at a pretty cool performance from last year, you could click on right there and see a cool video. If you scroll up to the left on the screen, Lisa, to the marching band music. Yeah, and click on that. Thanks. So we should have the Led Zeppelin music pretty soon in the summer, but if the kids want to start practicing already, there's some standards that we play at the football games on here, and you can use that to practice and get better and be all ready. We've got some downtime, you know, coming up soon with school getting out, so start practicing. And okay, I think that that's about it. I think we're going to turn it over to questions and unmute people, if that's okay.